A very good evening and welcome to Prime TV News, coming to you live and direct from the Prime TV studios with me, Abrar Abid. Now, before we go into our stories in detail, let's take a look at our headlines. Prime Minister plans to build a strong Sri Lanka through a modern economy. Prime Minister appoints a committee to inquire into Ranjan's statements on the Sangha. 2,200 new mouth cancer patients are being identified every year in the island. Donald Trump is still not exonerated of obstruction of justice. In our lead story, all the institutions of the Ministry of Home Affairs have been brought under one roof today. Opening the new building complex, Prime Minister Ranil Wickremesinghe mentioned that the present government faced many challenges. The Prime Minister further stated that there are many programs in place to make Sri Lanka an export economy. The opening of the official house building complex of the Ministry of Home Affairs constructed at the Alvitigala Mawatha in Narahempita took place this morning under the aegis of Prime Minister Ranil Wickremesinghe. After arriving at the precincts, the Prime Minister unveiled the plaque and vested the building complex in the people amidst multi-religious blessings. The new building complex, constructed with modern technology, has 20 stories. The cost incurred on the building complex were 5,580 million rupees. In addition to all sections of the Ministry of Home Affairs, the building also houses the Colombo District Secretariat, the Thimbirigasiyaya Divisional Secretariat, the Colombo District Elections Office. As such, the people have been afforded an opportunity to meet all their requirements under one roof. It also has 2 auditoriums, each with 200 and 100 seats. The people also have the facility of obtaining the services of the Thimbirigasiyaya Sub-Post Office, a branch of the Bank of Ceylon, and bank teller machines. There are 5 lifts located, creating facilities for disabled persons to approach the offices. There are also parking facilities for 100 vehicles. In addition, the official house has a canteen and a small supermarket. Premier Wickremesinghe said that they established a new government under President Maithripala Sirisena. Their prime aim was to establish a major city within the Western Province. Colombo will be administered from this entire building. Earlier, a district was a villa area. Now there is a total urban district. 2 roads will be constructed on towers. One will be running from the Kelani Bridge to Rajagiriya, while the other will be running to the harbour. Light rail tracks will also be operating. Plans are afoot to build a new city, converting the Greater Colombo area to an urban district, while the other plan is to procure a new land. Hitherto, such a land was acquired altering an existing boundary. For the first time, an artificial 600 acres from the sea area has been incorporated to the land. If so, the Prime Minister said they will be coming into a new district. All this is being done to build a strong economy in a modern Lanka. The work on building complex, which commenced in the year 2016, was planned to be completed in the year 2022. However, it was possible to complete the work before schedule following the mediation of Minister of Internal Affairs, Provincial Councils and Local Government Vajira Abewardena. Among those present on the occasion was a large gathering including Ministers Vajira Abewardena and P. Harrison, State Minister J.C. Alvathuwala and Colombo Mayor Rosie Senanayake. In more local news, the Prime Minister has decided to appoint a 3-member committee to investigate views expressed by State Minister Ranjan Ramanayake on the Mahasangha subject and the video footage that had been published in social media. The Prime Minister's media unit said that Prime Minister Ranil Wickremesinghe has decided to appoint the committee headed by Minister Tilak Marappana. A statement issued by the Prime Minister's media unit said that the other members of the committee will be Ministers Ranjit Madhuma Bandara and Malik Samra Wickrema. The committee is vested with the power of inquiring into the statements made by Ranjan Ramanayake and also on the video footage that has been released in this respect, and presenting to the Prime Minister proposals and recommendation on the future action that should be taken. The Attorney General has assured that the waste containers imported from UK would be retained until next Monday without damaging the environment. Accordingly, the waste containers would remain at the Colombo port and the Katunayaka Free Trade Zone without being cleared from the port. The Attorney General gave the undertaking when a petition filed against the importation of these waste containers was taken up before by the appeal court. The petition has been fixed for Monday. The Centre for Environmental Justice had filed the petition naming the Customs Director General, Central Environment Authority and the Attorney General as respondents. The petitioners sought an interim order against clearing these containers and dumping waste in the country. They also argued that the importation of containers with waste material was damaging to the environment. The Supreme Court has issued an interim order suspending the misappropriation case filed against 7 persons, including former Defence Secretary Gotabaya Rajapaksa, until the 1st of October. The Attorney General had filed a case against the suspects at the Special High Court for misappropriating state funds worth 33.9 million rupees in the construction of the D.A. Rajapaksa Memorial Museum. Rajapaksa had filed objections at the Special High Court questioning its jurisdiction to hear the case. However, the objections had been dismissed by the Special High Court itself. The appeal court too had dismissed an appeal filed by the former Defence Secretary against the Special High Court's ruling to dismiss his objections over the case. Former Defence Secretary Gotabaya Rajapaksa had then filed an appeal at the Supreme Court seeking an interim order to suspend the Special High Court's decision to proceed with the case. In more news at home, the Special Parliamentary Select Committee inquiring into Easter Sunday attacks met today too. Commandment of the Special Task Force Senior DIG M.R. Latif was the first to give evidence. Former Inspector General of Police N.K. Lanka also gave evidence.
Commandant of the Special Task Force, Senior DIG M.R. Latif, testifying before the Parliamentary Select Committee, said that he had received the State Intelligence Chief's letter on April 9th warning of impending attacks, along with a single annexure which had identified the Indian High Commission and main churches in Colombo as possible targets. However, he said that he subsequently learned that there had been other annexures that had been shared with other agencies with more details. He said those annexures had contained more specific details about the organization, what they are up to, specifics about their groups and addresses, and that he only received it during an interaction in the aftermath of the suicide bombings. Former Inspector General of Police N.K. Lanka said that back in 2015, when he was still in the office, he had advised the current director of the State Intelligence Service on the rise of Islamic extremism in the country, although the agency was not under his purview. Lanka, who is also the current advisor to the Minister of Defence, emphasized that he informed the intelligence chief in this regard at the time, as he considered it a national interest. According to Lanka's testimony, reports have revealed that towards the end of 2015, 5 terrorists of Islamic State, along with their family members, adding up to 34, had left for Syria.
11 university students sustained injuries following a clash between 2 groups of engineering faculty students in the Arvel Nagar area in Jaffna. The Kilnochi police said that they have been admitted to the Kilnochi hospital. An argument broke out between the senior students and the first-year students of the engineering faculty of the Jaffna University. However, the Kilnochi police have yet to receive a complaint from the attackers or assailants. Further investigations are being conducted into the incident by the police. In more local news, mouth cancer is rife among men in the country. This reference has been made by National Cancer Prevention Campaign. This was revealed at a seminar held in Colombo to mark World Cancer Day. According to reports issued by the National Cancer Prevention Campaign, around 2,200 new mouth cancer patients are being identified every month. Accordingly, 6 new mouth cancer patients are being identified daily. This has been revealed by Director of National Cancer Prevention Campaign Specialist Dr. Sudat Samaravira. Dr. Samaravira said that it is mouth cancer that is rife in the country. Alcohol, tobacco and chopping betel with tobacco are the main causes for mouth cancer. Although this type of cancer is rife in the island, there is a possibility of overcoming it. If anyone refrains from using alcohol, tobacco and chewing of betel, it is possible to prevent from contracting the disease, and also it is possible to early detect if anyone has contracted mouth cancer. Specialist Dr. Suraj Pereira of the Mouth Cancer Unit said that more than 1,000 die annually due to mouth cancer. The number of such deaths is still increasing. It is mandatory to save the lives of the people from mouth cancer by advising them. In addition, it is possible to detect early symptoms of the disease. Overall, 1/3 of the disease can be prevented. In more local news, Minister Daya Gamma Gaya has said that the Institute of National Social Development will be transformed into a university. The minister made this reference joining in the inking of a memorandum of understanding, the UC Limburg University of Belgium and the Institute of National Social Development. Moritz Weymans of the UC Limburg University and Acting Director General of the Institute of National Social Development, Gamani Attanayaka, signed the Memorandum of Understanding. Its purpose is to launch programs related to students on social work and child and youth affairs. Expressing his views, Minister Daya Gamma Gaya said that he is glad to have signed an agreement between the UC Limburg University and the Institute of National Social Development on the study cooperation deal. In future, they plan to transform the Institute of National Social Development into a university. It is hoped to sign such agreement with several study institutes in other countries and study how their economy has been built, and also to find out how the economy of the low income of these countries had been upgraded, and also look into application of their system in Sri Lanka. He said that it is planned to grant training in view of society. The Sri Lanka Freedom Party's Central Committee has unanimously adopted a proposal to hold the Provincial Council poll without postponing it. This was revealed by General Secretary of the United People's Freedom Alliance, Mahinda Amaravira. He mentioned that at a media conference held at the Sri Lanka Freedom Party head office. Parliamentarian Mahinda Samaravira said that as the SLFP, they have planned to hold a massive party convention on the 2nd of September. Also, the Central Working Committee held a meeting, and it was revealed that the elections chief has brought to the notice of the President about holding the provincial poll. A request has been made to approach the Supreme Court. It has been found that accusations have been made against the 225 MPs in Parliament and the President. As such, he said that a proposal was submitted to seek the opinion of the Supreme Court immediately and to make arrangements for the conduct of a provincial poll. Parliamentarian Veerukumar Disanayake said that there is no need of postponing the presidential election. There is a demand at the grassroots level to hold the provincial council polls. Also, there was a request from the Elections Commission chairman. It was along with this incident that the Central Committee proposed to the President to make inquiries and hold the provincial polls according to the old or new system. Former Education Secretary Sunil Hettiarachchi has said that the misuse of government funds had not taken place in the printing of textbooks. He made this reference addressing the media after giving evidence before the Presidential Commission of Inquiry. The former Education Secretary was summoned to the Commission with respect to an incident that state funds had been misused with the use of an image of the Education Minister in the printing of textbooks. Expressing views to the media after giving evidence to the Commission, Sunil Hettiarachchi mentioned that the briefed Commission on the decision taken by them. Replying to queries posed by journalists, he said that no fraud had taken place in this respect. He said that no government funds had been misused. In more news at home, the payment of compensation to families affected by the recent strong winds is now in progress. 340 families were severely impacted during the strong winds that lashed in the Puttalam district. They are being provided 10,000 rupees as an advance under the first stage. Accordingly, the payment of compensation to affected families within the Madampe Divisional Secretariat Division took place at the Madampe Divisional Secretariat Division. Puttalam District Secretary NHM Chitrananda said that full compensation will be paid at the receipt of the assessment reports. Let's now take a look at the very latest in the business arena. Sri Lanka will give 1 billion rupees a year to tea farms from a levy charged on exports to help fund old tea bushes with new ones. Sri Lanka charges cess tax on exports, to which goes to a fund to be used for replanting and marketing. Yields of old tea bushes fall over time. Sri Lanka's smallholders grow 132,000 hectares of tea, or 59.7% of the total, produce about 74% of the 340,000 metric tons of tea produced a year. Therefore, Sri Lanka has a great responsibility to increase the production capacity to protect the quality and prices of the tea. Sri Lanka's tea board has said that it costs about 1.5 million rupees to replant a hectare of tea. And that is all the news for today. Do join us again tomorrow for the very latest. For the Prime TV News team, I'm Abrar Abid. A very good evening and take care.